I almost killed my software agency by trying to turn it into a startup. I was chasing ambition and dizzying profits. But this was a huge mistake. This decision almost ended my entrepreneurial career. In this video, I'll show you the insights that saved my business, so you don't have to make the same mistake. I am Gabri. My software agency, Daedalus-XR, survived the startup trap, and now it makes almost $200,000 per year in revenue. All of this thanks to the insights that cost me 6 months of work. I'm sharing these insights with you in the next 10 minutes. In this video, I'll show you 3 things. First, the critical difference between agencies and startups that most founders miss. Second, why I chose agency over startup and the framework I used to do it. Third, how to make this decision without gambling your entrepreneurial future. So let's start with what actually happened. My story. Daedalus-XR was an agency. It was already started, but my co-founders and I decided to turn it into a startup. We were chasing the startup dream for 6 months. We went through 5 product iterations, a lot of business model canvases, some analysis, customer interviews, and so on. In the meanwhile, clients were asking to pay us for virtual reality development, web development, and social media work. But we kept saying no because we were too focused on building a startup. Internal fights started. We were exhausted and the bank account hit 0, unfortunately. I remember sitting at my desk at 2 a.m., staring at our 5th product iteration failed and thinking, is this how my entrepreneurial dream ends? We couldn't pay our bills. We needed to have a stable salary to pay our bills and our rent and our food. And the worst part was that the startup path maybe needed even more than 18 months before hitting consistent revenue. This is the truth nobody tells you. Most founders fail at their startup not because their idea is bad, but because they run out of money before hitting profitability or consistent revenue. My co-founders and I didn't have the experience or the runway to start a startup. Something had to change. But to understand what we did next, you need to understand the difference between these 2 business models, agencies and startups. This is what confused me for months. Aren't agencies and startups the same thing? Aren't you building a business either way? Wrong. Understanding this difference would have saved months of work and pain. So let's start by an agency. An agency sells a service. You sell your skills and time. You build custom software per project. Clients come to you with specific needs and you build their solution from scratch. Usually the payment per client is very high, at least in the software development field, and you make money from few clients who pay a lot. Different story for startup. A startup sells a product. You create one solution sold to many customers. Same product for everyone, lower price per customer. You make money from many clients who pay less. Even the scaling is different between startups and agencies. Startups scale easier because you build your product once and then you can sell it 100 times, 1,000 times, even 10,000 times. There is no time limit and long-term profit is massive, much bigger than the profit of agencies. Whereas agencies and services scale differently. since you are basically selling your time, if you run out of your time, you need to buy the time of someone else. That is, you have to hire someone. So the scaling is more expensive, is slower, but it can be done, of course. Even the cash flow is very different between startups and agencies. Startups struggle early because if you want to make real money, you need many users. And at the beginning, getting users is the hardest part. You're gonna do a lot of work just to get like 2, 3, 4, 5 users, but you need many more to hit consistent and strong revenue. That's why most startups seek investors in the early stages, because they have to pay their bills. With agencies, that's different. It's the opposite, because just a few clients can pay you a lot of money and you can get profitable right now in the early stages. Think about your situation right now. How much runway do you have? 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? That's very important to understand in order to determine which business model your company must adopt. Now that you understand the mechanics, let me tell you how my story continued. At Daedalus-XR, we made a decision. We decided to go back to agency work. Here's why. We realized that we had all we needed to make money as an agency. We had technical skill. And this is the only thing you need in an agency at the beginning. Because clients can pay you to develop software. So if you know how to do software, it's already done. In an agency, technical skills get you clients. Startups is a total different game. You need marketing skills, you need business skills, you need a large audience or network to get your early adopters. It's very different. And we had none of that. And most importantly, we needed money right now. Because we were just graduated from university, we were young professionals, and we all decided to go all in with entrepreneurship. So we needed to be sustainable, we needed to pay our rents, to pay our bills. So the agency was the most reasonable decision. Indeed, with Agency Works, we could land just 2 or 3 clients and get paid and get a decent salary. Indeed, within months, Daedalus-XR was making $5,000 per month, and then even more. The relief was immediate, not just financially, but even emotionally. We were finally building something that worked. Looking back, if we had focused on agency from the beginning, we wouldn't have lost $30,000 and 6 months. So, how do you actually make this decision? There is a simple test I wish I have known. If you answer no to even one of these questions, the choice becomes crystal clear. So, choose agency if you need immediate cash flow to survive. You are a first-time entrepreneur with limited experience. You have a small network and few business connections. You have strong technical skills, but weak marketing strategy skills. You can't afford 12-18 months without income. On the other side, choose startup if you have savings to cover at least 12-18 months without revenue. You have business experience, like in the field of marketing, sales, and fundraising, and so on. You have a strong network or audience to leverage to get your first users, and you're not dependent on immediate income. Here's the final test, the most important thing you have to ask yourself. Can you afford 12-18 months without revenue? Do you have the framework or audience to get your first 10 or even 100 customers? Do you have enough marketing and business experience? Pause this video and honestly answer these questions, because your answers tell you what path to take. Don't let ambition blind you like it blinded me. That framework would have saved me months of pain and hard work. But this is what I would like you to understand about the bigger picture here. This is the truth nobody tells you. Starting with an agency doesn't mean that you will never build a startup. In fact, this is the smartest path. Build your agency first, grow your network, build your marketing skills, build your technical development skills. Then launch your startup, not from a position of desperation, but from a position of strength. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that starting with the startups is bad, but I'm saying that timing matters. Indeed, right now Daedalus-XR is making almost $200,000 per year. We are profitable, we are sustainable, we have learned so many things in the last year. So now I feel I am in a position to start a startup. And actually, I already did it. I've created Goldmind, a startup. Go check it out in the link in the description if you're curious. The difference with myself 2 years ago, I'm not desperate anymore. I am strategic. And you can be too. If I could tell my past self one thing, it would be: don't rush. Build the foundation first. The startup can come later, when you are ready. The agency path isn't less ambitious, it's more strategic. It's the foundations that lets you take bigger wings later. If this video helped you avoid the mistake I made, I have more for you. Subscribe to my newsletter, link in description. In this newsletter, I share weekly no-fluff insights on building a profitable and freedom-driven B2B software agency. I share my founder journey and deeper, more in-detail reflections. That kind of stuff that you can't find on YouTube. Instead, if you prefer to connect personally, there is also a link below to reach out. I am always happy to connect with like-minded people that are building similar businesses to mine. And if you're working on pricing your software agency services, one of the hardest decisions early on, check out my video how to finally set the right price for your early stage B2B software agency. It'll save you from undercharging or losing clients. Link up here. So thanks for watching and see you at the next one.